we're live. Happy Thanksgiving long weekend to everyone out there, or at least here in Canada. It is the Thanksgiving long weekend. I hope you're all doing well. I see a lot of people in the chat already. Gertej, Susan, Vivian Johnson, Brad Palmer, good evening. Picard, COVID Hippo, Sheena Roberts, Michael Nguyen, welcome to the last, what might be the last Sunday Night Stumbles in a number of weeks. I'll be going away pretty soon, and I don't think I'm going to get around to doing a Sunday night stream next week. Although I'm like 20, 30%, maybe 40% likely to do one. I don't know, but I don't want to promise it. And I'll probably do what I did today when I was about to go out and do a live stream this afternoon and just kind of take a deep sigh and go, no, I can't do it, and come back in. Colette says, happy Thanksgiving. Hello, Colette. Jennifer Gala, Manless Dwellers here. Boris by Bike, Jeanette Morales, Gertej. We're going to kick things off with a kind of see-through can. This is a Mill Street Hazy Organic IPA. We're just going to keep it a little bit on the light side. This one, oh no, this is not in the light side. This is 6%. It actually says strong beer on the bottom. Whoops, I thought we were going to keep it light. Ari Nekju is here. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Falcom Scott. Iwa Dahlia says, happy Thanksgiving. And Eugenate, you were at the Jays game yesterday. I almost bought tickets to the game yesterday. I was there. I was on StubHub. I'm like, it's really not that expensive. And I really would have liked to have gone, but ultimately I decided to watch at home. And then, you know, we were up 8-1. I came into my computer. I started like editing and getting ready for my trip and catching up on things, planning future videos. And then you all know what happened. The spirit of the Maple Leafs invaded the Toronto Blue Jays. So, yeah, that's what happened. Welcome to Toronto Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get this IPA open. Hope you're all doing well. Ricky says, are you making Thanksgiving dinner on the Stubbles channel? Tomorrow feels very much like a order Swiss Chalet kind of night. Whitby Dude is here. Falcom says, will you ever snipe back at Ken anytime soon? Snipe back. I've sniped him many times. Boris by Bike says the Argos won yesterday. Speaking of Ken, I have a little bit of a sneak preview to show you guys. I don't know how much I'm going to show you, but I want to show you something. So in a few minutes, I will show you that. It does involve Ken. I met up with him yesterday, and we don't normally like coordinate our streams and stuff like that. Like if we just happen to stream at the same time, so be it. But because he asked me about streaming tonight, and I said, yeah, I can do it at 7. So I think he's scheduled a stream for 8:30. So don't know what you're doing tonight, but at the end of this stream, which will probably end around 8:30, you can hop over and check out Ken's streaming. Like I said, we don't normally coordinate. And Shadow Ship says, no more videos with Action Kid. It's funny that you ask. There's at least, I have one more video with Action Kid that I recorded in Niagara Falls. That'll be coming later. It's a night walk. And then I have a video that I recorded yesterday with the two Kens. There's a picture of the three of us on Instagram, and there's a picture of the three of us on my YouTube community tab on the Strides channel. Jenny K is here. Jenny Kritzkamp. Should I just go ahead and show you the preview? So I'll just play like a minute of this. But yes, the two Kens were matching with their blue flannel. We went for, I don't want to give away what they did on their channels, but basically, good evening, Lisa. Basically what we did was we went on one mega long walk. I recorded the first leg. Action Kid recorded the second leg. Ken Continuum recorded the third leg. We each used our own cameras and all that fun stuff, although I did provide the audio for Mr. Ken Continuum. I'll take credit for that. So we're going to pick a day, and all three of us are going to release our videos on that day. And you can see the entire thing if you want to spend a very long time watching us walk a very long way together. And then after that yesterday, Ken Continuum went out, and I know he made another video. I made another video somewhere else, and Action Kid made another video somewhere else. So we're all busy. I wanted to live stream yesterday, but there was a stupid bug on YouTube where you couldn't enable monetization. So that's why Action Kid didn't stream till very late. I was thinking we might do an afternoon stream together as well. But if you can't turn on monetization, that means you don't get anything for the stream. People can't send super chats. Not that that's what it's all about, but you don't even run ads on it. So yeah, the whole YouTube world was kind of up in arms. I just kind of shrugged my shoulders and said, okay, guess I can't stream this afternoon. That's fine. But I did have my gimbal with me. I was ready to get up and stream. So was Action Kid. Ken was ready to join one of us, but yeah, so Action Kid just ended up streaming later on at night. So that's what happened. I kind of hinted that I would stream, and then we didn't. Anyways, I will shut the F up now and play maybe a minute of this or so. I'm not going to go full screen. We'll just leave it in its little window. Jennifer Gallus says that was a disaster yesterday on YouTube. You know, when I woke up and actually, it was Friday night that I noticed it. The monetization symbol on my channel was gone. And I was like, have I been demonetized? So I came over and I checked Johnny Stumbles, and that was gone too. And I was like, oh shit. Then it makes sense. If I'm going to lose it on one channel, I'm going to lose it on the other one because it's connected to the same Google AdSense account. And then I went on the interwebs and started looking around, and there were 10 billion other people crying about the same issue. So that's the best feeling in the world, right? When your internet's down, but all your neighbors are down too, is so much better than just your internet being down. Because if it's just you realize you might have a little battle on your hands, right? Dealing with customer service, dealing with people of varying degrees of competence trying to fix your problem. But when it's everybody, it's kind of like, okay, I don't have to call anyone. I'll just wait this out, and it'll get back when everyone else gets back. So yeah, it was just a bug, but we couldn't enable monetization, which is why nobody was streaming yesterday. Nobody was uploading videos. Some really, really big YouTubers that I watch didn't upload videos. So yeah, but it's fixed. Anyways, here is a little teaser of our video from yesterday.
Well, all we got. Nice. There's also the Leaside Bridge, which is another big bridge similar to this. And a whole bunch of smaller bridges going over Gerrard and Dundas and Queen.
Yeah, there's Eastern, the Queen Viaducts, Dundas, Gerrard.
The Billy Bishop pedestrian tunnel.
Yeah.
Ken did a video under there that I think was pretty popular.
Yeah. And it got a bit of a boost because Not Just Bikes used a clip of it in one of his videos.
Oh, good. Is that the only underwater tunnel in Toronto?
As far as I know, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they used to have those, like, paid binoculars here. I think they finally removed them. That's too bad. Anyways, there you go. So that is just a little clip from yesterday. Ken and Ken. They thought it would be funny if they both wore their blue plaid. I went on Amazon and it like wouldn't arrive in time. I was thinking maybe I'll order one as well, but I didn't. Vivian Johnson says they must feel strange not holding their cameras. Maybe, but I mean, we've all done these kind of collabs before, so that was fun. So that's coming up. I don't know what day. I have like 8 videos banked. I still have to like edit and upload some of them. And all right, maybe we'll do a little thumbnail voting as well. COVID Hippo says looking forward to it. Jenny K says I thought you should be wearing a flannel shirt, but you'd have to change your name to Ken. That's true. They're both Ken. Gertich says 8. Yeah, I've got about 8. I don't really want to be like editing and uploading when I'm in hotels on the road. I've finally got my 4 hotels nailed down for my trip. So I'll be staying at 4 different places over 10 days. Someone will be staying in my apartment as well. So there's a lot of moving pieces going on in the next few weeks. So it's going to be fun. I'm hoping to make a lot of videos while I'm out. Few of the streets in the city and hotel videos, train videos, flight videos, that sort of airports, that sort of thing. COVID Hippo hinted a voice reveal, but you do not feel comfortable doing that on stream. You stream without voice, COVID Hippo. That's a little interesting. Susan says no Woodle sitting this time. No. There will be no Woodle sitting. Why am I looking at my fantasy football team? My fantasy football team is absolutely crushing, by the way. Colette says she's excited. You're excited. I'm excited. Whippy Dude, new hoodie is okay. Dallas Cowboys 22, Rams 10. We should be just finishing a Blue Jay game right now, shouldn't we, Eugenate? But I guess that's not going to happen. All right, so let's do a poll here. I guess it's go Leafs go now. I would rather turn to the Raptors. I mean, the Leafs, you know, that's disappointment in a handbasket before the season even starts. Like T says, is Action Kid apartment setting? No, but somebody else's. Not that they're apartment sitting. It's that they work from home and they live outside of the city. And they really like the city. So it's like, hey, I'm gone. You know, you could use my e-bike. Just keep the door locked. Let me know if any shit happens, like a fire or someone tries to break in. Not that that's going to happen. It just feels like, you know, hey, come take my apartment. You've house sit before. So it just kind of keeps somebody here as well. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of that versus, you know, having to put everything in lockdown, like my hard drive and all that stuff. Anyways, so I quickly did a few videos this afternoon, and I was working on some thumbnails. So there is a choice between two. Somebody, a certain YouTuber in Toronto, actually picked these thumbnails for me. Which one should I go? Which one? Top or bottom? We're not going to number them. We're not going to number them. The top one is Queen Street, walking east. The bottom one is Queen and Spadina. This video was a request. Yeah, I like the pink pants. That jumps out, but the rest of that thumbnail doesn't really do anything, right? It's just kind of... Bleh. But Jennifer Gallo loves the pink. Yeah, I thought that's cool, right? It's kind of bold to wear pink pants. Lisa likes the bottom one. The arm in the bottom one kills it for you. Yeah, maybe we could do something about that arm. COVID Hippo says, feels like every thumbnail you have to put women on it. Sorry, I'm just kidding around here. Hey, I did not choose these thumbnails, by the way. I did not choose these two. Another YouTuber did. Lisa is picky. Do I have a variation of that one that could also substitute for number 2? Without the King and Bather. Okay, so this was a Patreon. There's one. Without the there's one with whoops. There's one without the arm. Lisa, is that better than the one without the arm? Johnny literally titled the stream as his last video for now. I did. Lisa says way better. At least, okay. So if you're voting for the bottom one, that would also include this alternate one without the arm. Oops. Okay, so when we get to 50 votes, the voting will be over. When we get to 50 votes, we're at 48 votes. It looks like everyone has already voted. Everyone who is voting has voted. Let me turn this off. I'm just going to go ahead and set that thumbnail right now so I don't forget. So many times I say something on the stream that I'll do something, that I'll put a link to something, and then I don't actually do it. So let's go into that video. Let's throw the thumbnail into YouTube without the arm. There we go. The armless version has been updated. We're going to end the poll. Thank you guys for voting. Thank you very much. Now we're going to do another poll. This is going to be a bit of a sore spot for Eugenate. I did a walk. After I did that walk on Friday, I did another walk. And I thought it would be kind of cool to walk around from where I was. I went through the South Core, and I thought it would be cool to go up by the Sky Dome just because Blue Jays, playoffs, first game. Awesome atmosphere. So we have these two thumbnails. I really like the bottom one because the guy is like running. Like he is like running full tilt. We also get a new skyscraper going up. But the top one has more blue. I don't know. So I'm going to put up a poll here again. Which one? Top. Let's add a third option. Okay, there is now a third option available. Center view on the bottom is nice. Is there a no arm poll again? I also like the bottom one because it's a little less Blue Jays themed. Let's see. Top 43%, 32% said bottom. 24% are voting for dill pickle. Whippy Dude says, have I given AK suggestions about where to stream? Yes, I've given him a few. Like his... That's all I'll say, but I have... You know, we talk to each other. We give each other suggestions all the time. That's it. There may be a video with me and him collaborating on his channel coming up pretty soon. Yahia says, hi, Johnny. You never said hello to you at the start. Hello, Yahia. I didn't see you in the chat. You weren't on the screen. Grazi says, pickle, Johnny. Yes, pickle is at 23%. 40% top, 37% bottom. I might have to override this. I kind of like the bottom. And the LA Rams are backs against the wall, 22-10. Stafford throws. Cooper Kupp, who has been absolutely incredible, goes down for a short gain. Lisa worked at Bix Pickles in high school. Jenny K says, I'm glad to see AK is enjoying his time in Toronto. I think he is loving his time in Toronto. Speaking of that, for some reason, Micheline says, vote why override. If it's close, if it's within like 1 or 2%. Susan, I like that building. I don't think it's an eyesore. I think it's kind of cool. I like just being out in the cold, riding my bike. I cracked my lips like pretty hard. So I've been rocking the Carmex lately. It's kind of the only thing keeping me from being in extreme pain. Whippy Dude says he's impressed with the food. All right. When we get to 60 votes, we're going to end the poll. We're at 54 votes. 54 votes. I shouldn't have put dill pickle on there as an option. Grazi says you need Burt's Bees. I've tried that before. Most of the stuff is the same. This stuff was cheaper. They had it. It's at Rexall. I know it works. Falcon has never heard of Carmax before. It's probably just a brand you don't have in the UK. Soothing moisturization. Classic lip balm. All this shit's the same, by the way. Even like chapstick brand works fine. $38. Top and bottom locked. I can't end this. I can't end the poll now. 4 more votes. Let's go. 4 more votes. 4 more votes. I shouldn't have made a dill pickle an option. Micheline will try that lip balm. Well, I'll have you know, I only bought the lip balm because it was like the cheapest thing they had at Rexall. Mike T says, Action Kid and my videos from Niagara Falls were all really great. Thank you. I've got 3 to 5 more videos from Niagara Falls to come, by the way. I did one down Lundy's Lane I did a night video with the fireworks on it. I showed the fireworks on Friday. That was with Action Kid. I have like Journey Behind the Falls, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. And I have another one walking through an attraction that I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it. Devin says you can rub lard on your lips too, but there is something to be said for not smelling of bacon. Grazi is on Team Pickle. Vivian prefers Blistix cream, not the waxy kind. Huja almost missed another live stream. Welcome to the live stream. All right, it looks like the shitty top one won the vote. 38 to 35. We're going to end the poll. Thank you for voting. This might be one that I forget the results of. Whoops, wrong one. It's possible I forget the results of that poll. Bill Chow says second vote, bottom, top is too much Blue Jays gear. Blue Jays fans must be depressed after choking away an 8-1 loss. Yes. Just, you know, sorry, I'm taking my slippers off. It's not vacation yet, Johnny. You don't need sandals. Bottom is better with the feet in the frame. Yeah, you're weird. I like people like mid-step, like walking options. Unknown says both options were not good. You know what's not good, Unknown? About 90% of the shit you say in the chat and comments you leave. Just saying. Micheline, why are you so sad? Because of the Jays? Devin Sullivan, 131 watching, 38 thumbs up in the air. How about a round of thumbs up from those enjoying Johnny's stream? Thank you, Delavan. Yeah, you can be mid-step with feet and frame. It's always awkward when people are like a quarter step in or not. Anywho, let's pull up the browser. So I went on the Niagara SkyWheel and I made this video. So if you want to see what that's like at sunset, you can see that on this channel. But look what happened. Action Kid posted a video as well. Niagara Falls Ferris wheel ride at Clifton Hill. So I got the sunset ride up. He got the night ride up. So you can see that a whole lot of the Niagara SkyWheel on both channels. Burrito meal.
What's up, everyone?
What's funny about this video?
I got the organic
I am recording this video.
tofu burrito. It's stuffed. I also had lettuce, tomato, green onion, guacamole, and cilantro crema sauce.
Look at this awesome camera work. Lisa says, dude, of course you're... Yeah, but he normally does these like solo, right?
Okay. I mean, considering every other place was closed, I'll sell for anything right now. That's what I expected. I mean, I paid...
I don't think he has ever been disappointed in anything he's eaten on this channel before. I think this was like his first negative food review. Chris Mill says, did he say tofu burrito? Yes. I like the part when he tries to open the bottle here.
I mean,
Why would...
the spice in there, the rice is good, tofu.
Why would this restaurant give you a glass bottle that requires an opener and let you take it to your seat? I would do what Action Kid did and just assume it's a twist top.
Could use a little bit more flavor,
But you're going to see some top flight camera work here. Jennifer Gallus says he's such a nice person, very honest. Yeah, I don't think he's capable of telling a fib. He's way too nice and honest relative to how I am. Only if there are bottle openers on the table. Yes, Devin, exactly. There were none. Look at this top-notch I'm holding the camera by hand. This is not a gimbal. His burger from the Niagara Falls snack bar didn't impress him either. Yeah, Lisa, I don't know.
it's spicy. $3.79 for this. Yeah.
Action Kid says maybe spilled something here. There's a video of AK reviewing. Yeah, I saw that too, Sheena. This one, I think he may have published the video of the burger first, but he recorded this one first. So this was actually his first Negative review. Trying out a Hong Kong style cafe in Toronto. He loved it. Tour of a 1-bedroom basement apartment. Some people didn't like this video. It got 3.2k views, which is pretty good for this channel.
I stayed in an Airbnb.
I don't know if you guys saw this video, but this is where are the comments on here? Down here? This is a nice basement apartment. Terrific, cozy apartment. Clean and quiet. What a cool little apartment. It seems to be very inviting. Nice and clean. It looks like a nice apartment. Nice apartment. But when you get near the bottom, I think there's a lot of negative comments. A window would be nice. Nice bathroom light. Scary vibes. This apartment, no way. I thought I saw no windows. This person's laughing. Why spend a lot of money for something you're going to live in all day? AK more content. I thought there were no effort put into this place for a guest. Just cheap white paint and cheap mismatched furniture. There are better Airbnbs who picked this place for him. And then someone wrote, he picks his own places. I doubt it. His friend Johnny Strides did. Then he needs to get better friends. Dolly says 100. I did not pick this place, by the way. I didn't consult on this place. Why are you saying you doubt it? I did. Dolly Girl Twins. I know you've been in my streams before, but when people just like make shit up and pass it on as if it's a fact, you've like completely discredited yourself for the rest of time in my mind. Because how can you ever trust someone who just like said, like, say probably his friend Johnny Strides did it? That makes sense. But to say I did it, no, I didn't. Like, that's just such a I can't speak tonight, by the way. That's such a stupid way to present your assumption, right? Like, I don't know, it just bothers me when people say that. You'll notice I've kind of trained myself to always say I think. Probably. I never assert things as facts if I'm not sure. Or if I do and I'm genuinely wrong, I'll be like, sorry, thanks for the information. But yeah, like, I hate it when people like say stuff like this. Oh, I can't comment on it. But anyways, yeah. Perhaps. There you go, Tom Bikes. Perhaps. Probably. Maybe. Had to use Johnny's name here. I take things online with a grain of salt. Yeah, online, 90% of it is fine. Almost everyone, except for a certain unknown character, are awesome, like in this chat even. But yeah, I can play this in the background while we chat. What do you guys think? Do you like this Airbnb? Do you not like this Airbnb? Micheline says never assume. That's a good... Never assume unless you have concrete evidence, right? Isn't that the way we should go through life? Naughty Brown says hi, JKHNNY. Sheena, I saw someone accusing me of trolling on AK for views. Yeah, well, it was funny. I saw that comment too. Because I walked by Action Kid recording a video. What happened was we recorded a video around Kensington Market together for his channel. And then he was like, I want to record Chinatown. And I'm like, okay, so we were going to live stream after. So you're going to record Chinatown. I've got like 45 minutes to kill. I've got my camera. I'm going to make a video too. And it just so happened that I walked by him while he was recording his video. And someone was like, you're trolling him for views. It's like, no. Mike T says it's not my type of place. I wouldn't stay there. IC says, hello all. You know, if I were going to a city purely to make videos like Action Kid and I wasn't really hanging out in a place and I just wanted a warm shower and a comfortable bed and a decent location, I would be totally fine with this place. I would stay there. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. Who cares? It's in a basement. You don't have daylight. That's like not why he's here. You know, he's not going on vacation somewhere far away and trying to stay at the Ritz-Carlton and, you know, take advantage of their spa. Also, Toronto is stupidly expensive. Hotels in Toronto right now are like double or triple what they were 2 years ago before the pandemic. It is nuts. Who's Jazz says that's not half bad. That's a place you would definitely not mind spending a few nights there if you didn't want to spend a lot of money. I don't think it was that cheap actually, but it's perfectly adequate, right?
Some blankets.
Pine Soul says beats ice condos, the party Airbnb building of Toronto. I don't know. Yonge and St. Clair versus a South Core condo.
Glasses, dishes, pots, pans.
I might prefer ice condos if I was staying just for a short time. I wouldn't want to live in ice condos. But would I stay there as a guest at an Airbnb? Probably. Jenny once stayed at a downtown hotel only because a dear friend was kind enough to party. You know what? You want to see how ridiculous downtown hotels are? Let's go to our friend booking.com. Let's say we want to stay next Friday, the 14th, and we're going to stay for 2 nights to Sunday. Where are you going? Downtown Toronto. And you search. Loading properties, okay. Can I get rid of this thing here? Doubletree by Hilton, $7.99 plus $140 for a freaking Doubletree. That is like, I believe Doubletree is like a low rent Hilton brand. What do we have here? Well located private room, $360. Double room with shared bathroom. Shared bathroom for $360. There's the famous Chelsea hotel that everyone always used to stay at because it was so cheap. $760 plus $133. So you are paying $893 for a room in the Chelsea hotel for a weekend in October. Like the Delta by Marriott. The Delta, $934 plus $164. The Marriott City Center Hotel, this is in the Skydome, $1238 plus $244. Tell me these aren't insane. There's a hotel, $1333. Just include the friggin' tax. Just put the full price. Some hotels have been turned into like shelters, so they're not available. The Kimpton St. George Hotel, that one is over $1,400 with tax. The Yorkville Royal Sonesta Hotel, that one is over $1,300. The Town Inn Suites, that looks cheap, right? Yeah, exactly. PGH is saying, who is paying these insane prices? I get it. During TIFF, right? In the summer, people will pay those prices. You know, Caravana is a big one. When those events happen, the Honda Indy or whatever, the big Indy race, like there are things like in the summer. This is October. There is nothing going on. If you live out in like the suburbs and like you want to come to the city for a weekend and just watch a concert and you don't want to go home that night, you don't want to deal with the GO train, you don't want to deal with like a long taxi, makes sense. You know, let's just spend the night in the city. A lot of people used to do that. How the hell can they do that? One King West Hotel. You saw my video on One King West. You know this is like not that great. 1,018 plus 178 for 2 nights in October. Now we're on the east side. The Holiday Inn is 918. Isn't this nuts? Like, what about the Drake Hotel? That's got to be on Queen. Oh, sorry. The Gladstone, $1,368 plus $248 to stay way out in West King West. The Drake Hotel is booked. So people are paying these prices. Let's see. Can we find a hotel here for $150 to $200? We found a few. Room for rent beside UFT, $318. Well-located private room. Let's see what this one's all about. Independent Mind says that is not. This room looks okay. Right? That looks okay. All these pictures are like not relevant. Like, why do we have a picture of the subway? Why do we have a picture of Queen's Park? Double room with shared bathroom. I don't care about the shared bathroom. That's weird. So if you wanted to go as cheap as possible and stay in downtown Toronto, you would be paying $420 for basically like a hostel type experience. Does Toronto have hostels anymore? Toronto hostel, is that a thing? Toronto hostels? Are there any hostels available? How much are those? Did the Ritz-Carlton show up when I typed hostels? This one is in North York. Isn't this nuts? Who can afford this? What are we looking at in Manhattan for 2 nights on the same weekend? What are we looking at in Manhattan? 1232, 1508, 1120, 1517, 1229, 26, 18, 980 for the DoubleTree in Manhattan is like the same as the DoubleTree here. We are Manhattan prices right now for hotels. It is bonkers. What if we searched Tokyo, my favorite city on planet Earth? Shinjuku Prince Hotel, $454. $277. Like, what is wrong with our hotel prices? Look at these hotels. Okay, a really good area in Tokyo. Come on, mouse. Where do we want to go? We want to go... This is Shinokubu. This is like Koreatown. I stayed in a hotel in Shinokubu. $151. Where's the hotel I stayed at in Shinokubu? Coco. I stayed here. It is... The hotel I stayed here is sold out. But let's see. What does $187 for 2 nights get you in Tokyo? Friggin' Tokyo. Steps from a hotel or steps from a subway station in an awesome neighborhood. It gets you a bathroom. It gets you shared internet. There's your room. Yeah, it's Japan. That's a Japanese style room. There'll be some like comforters in the closet. You sleep on the floor, but holy shit, wouldn't you rather have that for $187? Who is traveling to Toronto and paying $1,000 for 2 nights when you could stay in like Tokyo in like an amazing hotel for that? Christine says you've booked. Yeah, always try booking directly with the hotel. You can often get a better price than what's on the booking site. Sometimes it's the opposite, but it's always worth trying. What about my other favorite city? I haven't looked into this that much. 116, 254. This is the same weekend. Here's a hotel with a rooftop pool in Siam, a very popular area. Not Siam, Siam. A lot of people say Siam, and it drives me nuts. Superior Queen Room. You could get this for $241. Who's paying $1,000 for 2 nights in Toronto? How much is like an ultra luxury hotel there? Show map, show map. So like probably the best area to stay is along this strip here. Center Point. I'm looking for like a big name brand hotel. Not the Novotel. Give me a big brand. Hilton. The Hilton is $416 for 2 nights at a Hilton. Bangkok Marriott, $417 for the Marriott. What is wrong with the Toronto hotel industry? Like something is serious. Like I've never seen hotel prices this expensive ever And it's October when they should be cheap. Come on, give me... There's one here called like the Radisson Blue. So there you get... Look at this hotel you get for $300 and something for 2 nights. It's a friggin' Radisson. You get like a jet tub. You get a skyline view. You get a balcony. You get all these amenities like a pool. And this hotel, $374 for 2 nights. This like shits all over. Like you've seen my videos, right? You know I've been to the Ritz-Carlton here. I've been to the Shangri-La. They're not that nice. They're not like, they're just okay in my opinion. And I've been to a lot of like budget hotels that I think are like 90% as good. Like if you're impressed by like fancy marble and like the fittings, which are bullshit because they get scratched up and they start to look like crap anyways, even at a really high-end hotel. They always like start to look aged. Like, I don't know. I read an article that Toronto hotel prices are 2 to 3 times higher than they've ever been at this time. And I think it's absolutely fucking bonkers, and it's not in line with inflation. It's not in line with anything but a hospitality industry that's trying to make up for 2 years of lost business. I don't know, but I think it's nuts. Something's got to give. I don't think it's sustainable. Like, one of the biggest occupants of these hotels were businesses, like people coming in for the week would normally on the company dime is what would fill most of the downtown hotels. And on the weekend, it would be people coming in for concerts and that sort of thing. And they've lost most of the business travel. So now it's mostly leisure travel based. Like, I don't know. Christine says, talk to an economist. It's not sustainable. All the hotels are losing money somehow. It's nuts. But I will take advantage of these ultra awesome prices abroad. In fact, I already have. I'll stay at much, much better properties for a fraction of what we pay. I mean, in the Netherlands, I paid like a quarter for a hotel in friggin' Amsterdam during peak tourist season than what you pay in Toronto. Like, it doesn't make sense. In fact, Zero usually stays at the Super 8 on Spadina if you need to get something in town. That Super 8 is now a shelter. It was turned in for youth males, I think it's been turned into. And I think the city recently took that over as a permanent thing. And that is one thing that has really hurt. They targeted, the city targeted a lot of like the lower cost hotels. So a lot of the low and mid-range hotels are gone. They were turned into shelters and some of them never reopened again. The only hotel in Yonge and Eglinton is now gone. So if someone wanted to stay here, they couldn't. So I don't know the answer. I was reading an article on how the hotel industry in Toronto is completely effing itself. I think it was in the National Post, but yeah, this is the first time I've looked at the prices, and nobody in their right effing mind is going to want to come to Toronto on vacation unless they're like a money is no object kind of person. And that's really going to trickle down on a lot of the businesses, right? On the businesses that were forced to close down during the pandemic can't rebound and get their customers back because no one can afford to come here anymore. Travel numbers are way down. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I'm not thrilled with the prospect of telling people to, come visit Toronto. There's 1,000 better places you could visit now, unfortunately. Jennifer Gala was looking at hotels in Athens, Greece for December, and prices were €131 a night for the Marriott. Toronto Delta was like $300 a night. In this coming December, hopefully they're going down. Whippy Dude says there's a hotel on Ken Street, the Pembroke Inn. Yes, I have heard of that. Anyways, enough hotel ranting. I am really excited to go on this trip because I am taking advantage. In most parts of the world, hotels are really cheap now. They're trying to lure travelers back, right? They're trying to get back what they lost. And I totally took advantage of that. I'm staying at some pretty killer places that were pretty low priced. And I'm really looking forward to just staying there and making some videos. Naughty Brown says, yeah, all right. I'm not going to read that comment. Jenny K says, when do you leave again? I am leaving. I don't know, but there might not be a video next Sunday. Jim Martin says, now if you use a credit card, some businesses are going to charge you a fee. Yeah, how is that even allowed? They've always been charged a fee. Visa and MasterCard haven't changed their fees. They haven't hiked their fees. Businesses are just like, here's the fee. Something happened. Where was I? The other day I was picking up takeout food and the machine prompted me to tip, and the employee grabbed the machine and hit cancel and said, I'm sorry for that. You know, the owner just implemented it. And I remember talking to you guys about that. And I was like, this is ridiculous. We're out of control. Like, the cost of living has gone up so much. Or people's salaries not even close to matching it. Yet the transfer, anyways, yeah, we're getting squeezed all over the place. I don't think people are looking out after the best interests of the people that live here, unfortunately. Anyways, Justin Haas says you should plan a trip to Las Vegas. Who's Josh says, where am I going? One of 4 locations. Either Tokyo, either Bali, either Taipei, or Bangkok would be them. Those of what I've announced. It's one of those 4. Whippy Dude says, I remember your hotel in Montreal had isolator problems. MJ says, vote for Gil Penalosa. Yes, I need to do a video on that. I'm not a political channel, but isn't it time we actually got a mayor that isn't just a city administrator? Like Vision Zero, my ass, John Tory. He has been beyond useless during his time here. Like, you look at the King Street Priority Corridor and it's like falling apart. It's temporary furniture masquerading as like a transit priority corridor. All the bollards are like knocked down and not replaced. It's like, let's get an urbanist in place and let's see how that goes. We should have voted in Jennifer Keesmaat last time. But the fact that we have like a telecom executive who's still very clearly in bed with the telecom industry is pretty disappointing in my opinion. But of course, actually, you know what? There is a video on my favorite channel called There's Something Wrong with Suburbia, of course. How Toronto got addicted to cars. Where's the part here? The early history of Toronto. Got to get rid of those streetcars. Freeways everywhere. It talks about how like the crux of our problems in Toronto are the megacity and the fact that Scarborough, Etobicoke, North York are the ones that are electing our mayor. The people that think downtown should be open for them to drive their cars through. Justin says Gil Penalosa isn't advocating for subways, though. No, he's not. He's advocating for affordable transit. He's advocating for busways and for light rail transit, stuff we can actually build and get done. Whereas John Tory was campaigning on a one-stop subway to Scarborough, the most expensive one-stop subway in the history of time, which thankfully is now a 3-stop subway. But he was advocating a one-stop subway, which is batshit insane. He also drew up like Transit City on the back of a napkin, and that never got built. So, Christine, you can go to Gil's website. A lot of it is there. Has Tory costed out Tory doesn't have a platform. Tory's platform is, I'm not going to rub anyone the wrong way. Marco says, ever traveled to Dominican Republic? You'd love to see Johnny Stride's content over the Colonial Zone and Santo Domingo City Center. I would love to go to the Dominican. Never been. Bill Chow says, for members only video, Johnny has narrowed down the destination to 2 cities from 4. Members get advanced info. I thought I would sprinkle a little goodness into that. But anyways, this video is effing awesome. How Toronto got addicted to cars. It's a little bit... After you watch this video and you feel super depressed and you hate the state of Toronto, go to this channel, RM Transit, and watch this video. This will lift you right back up, called Toronto's Building a New Island with Trams. Because you will realize, for all the shit, there's also a whole lot of good. The electrification of the GO system. No thanks to Mr. Tory. And Villiers Island, which we're building, which looks super awesome. And it's being built with transit connections in mind. Like, it's an awesome project. I recommend checking out RM Transit. But I also, for a hefty dose of reality, check out how Toronto got addicted to cars and not just bikes. Awesome video. Sobering. Very sobering, but Whitby Dude says at least the most destructive expressways were canceled. They were, but the 413 is like the most destructive of all, and we're about to build it. So, yeah. At least the Spadina Expressway got canceled. We can definitely help thank Jane Jacobs for that. Lisa says RM has a photo on IG of your neighbor's cat, Aries. Lol. Yeah, Reese is an awesome guy. Yeah, he is awesome. He's really upbeat on the future of transit in the city, which is pretty awesome, especially relative to the rest of North America. Jenny K is surprised Toronto doesn't have roundabouts yet. We could use some actual traffic enforcement before that. MJ says billions for the Gardner when we should tear it down. Yeah, I mean, all the evidence in the world shows less roads, people adjust. It doesn't lead to more congestion. More roads leads to more congestion, ironically. Less roads leads to the same or less congestion. Seoul did the same thing. They tore down a highway and replaced it with a river. And guess what happened? Congestion didn't get worse anywhere else. It's called induced demand. Anyways, let's see what's going on in the world of Toronto and Leg Fluffy. Chris Mills says we have roundabouts in York region. We have roundabouts in Midtown too, just east of here on Broadway, but they have stop signs, which kind of defeats the purpose of a roundabout. Not really true roundabouts. A reminder, Rogers Communications pays John Tory $100,000 annually to be part of a trust board while he is mayor of Toronto. Guys, let's get this asshole out of office. He does not do any good for this city. Vision Zero. How many people have died under his watch when he promised that they wouldn't? Anyways, yeah, you can tell I had to drink earlier today while I was watching football. This makes me want to not vote for the candidate. Vote Avtar Minis, Dev Narang. That's obnoxious, isn't it? How many signs are there? How bad is that for the environment? Lisa is voting for Gil. I'm 100% voting for Gil. I voted for Jennifer, and I will vote for Gil. Was it Richard Petty? Like, he had an awesome tweet. Richard Petty, Twitter. Raptors Brass, pretty philanthropist, author, disruptor, builder, president and CEO of MLSE. So here's a pretty high-ranking guy who is definitely in there with like the who's who of the telecom industry. Says check him out and vote for him. Richard Petty officially endorsing Gil Penalosa. But where's the tweet I'm looking for? Sorry, I don't even know how like Twitter works. I can't read it because I don't even have a Twitter account. Anyways, he said he gave a really, really awesome endorsement for Gil somewhere on his page. Chris Mills loves when people call themselves disruptors. Nothing like Canadian politics on a Sunday night. Boy, says RJ. I never know the direction of this stream. Let's get back to Reddit. How do I get back to Reddit? R Toronto. Devin. Christine. Jennifer Keesmit was so overqualified relative to Mr. Tory, but she had no chance of getting elected, and neither does Gil. Tax hikes or service cuts. New Toronto Council has close to a scary budget gap of 800. Yeah. We're looking for something fun. Driver optional delivery truck spotted. Gilberter Point Lighthouse at Center Island. Toronto is a world-class city via fuck cars. There's London. There's Paris. There's New York. And there is Toronto. That just about sums it up, doesn't it? Patrick, how are you? Still can't find you roaming in the streets. I roam, Patrick. Do we have anything interesting? Are we just killing time till Ken streams at 8:30? Double rainbows at North York. Country full... This is funny. Country full of people who hate Toronto gears up to root for its baseball team. It's funny. The amount of hate the city of Toronto gets from people from other regions, and yet they all root for the Blue Jays. They all root for the Raptors. It's not the country's team. They're Toronto's team. Let's be pretty clear on that. Alex says we would have had at least 3 more rapid transit lines now if it weren't for Rob Ford. Stupid man. Rob Ford, probably public enemy number 1 is Rob Ford. Number 2, Mike Harris, pretty bad. Number 3, let's not beat around the bush. It's Dougie. He's pretty awful. The only reason the Ontario line is being built, well, A, it was delayed by Ford so he could repackage it and deliver it as his brainchild because that project had to come no matter what. But he delayed it and then made it his own and took all the credit for it. Richard Petty just endorsed Gil Penalosa for mayor. Here we go. Actually, Gil is being modest. He's ranked 44th but 24th among urbanists who are alive today. He's an international rock star and he wants to be mayor of TO. Richard Petty, were you drunk when you wrote this? Someone wrote Tory's urbanism cred. Someone asked about... Anyways, yeah, there we go. There's a quote from Richard Petty. I knew this would pop up somewhere. Romano interview after the game. Felt said, yeah, the pictures all kind of like fell apart. It was really, really, really sad to see. A truck parked in a bike lane and threatened a Toronto cyclist when asked to move. I think the picture says enough. If you've got to block something, block the traffic lane. Why are you blocking this? And cyclists, there's a curb here, right? If you're on your bike, you can't even just like go around it without getting off. I read this article already, but yeah, and the cyclist was basically calling people, or the truck driver was calling people city boys and telling them to F off when they gave him trouble about why he's parked in a bike lane. I mean, this should never happen. I don't know. Anyways. Let's see. Leg Fluffy, my drunk alter ego. Got a reply to one of my smartass comments. Let's see what this reply is. Did you ever figure this out? The part I'm stuck on is how some people can think that Ossington isn't downtown. It is. Ossington is downtown. What? On what planet is Ossington downtown? because it's sure AF not this one. Pro tip. Go to Google Maps and type downtown Toronto and tell me if Ossington is anywhere near it. Answer. It won't be. Okay, there's my answer. Here's where I like to solve the world's problem by by answering people's questions on Reddit as my alter ego leg Fluffy. Just in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, maps.google.com. I do agree. Going west, it is harder to distinguish. It almost feels arbitrary. But this is pretty much always the understood boundaries of downtown Toronto. Bathurst to the west, Bloor to the north. I get it. If you want to go up to DuPont, no arguments from me, because I wouldn't really say this is Midtown. So what is it? It can't be nothing. So if you want to, I get that, but you want to draw, here's Ossington, right? You want to make this downtown? On what planet is this downtown? It's not. You've got the Don River on the east, the lake on the south, Bloor on the north, Bathurst on the west. Lisa disagrees. DuPont ain't it? Yeah. Well, the argument would be that the annex residents often consider themselves downtown when really they're just downtown adjacent, right? It's all arbitrary, but this has been defined in so many different sources, so many different ways, and even by the city of Toronto itself, that I would go with what Google represents as downtown. But you can't tell me that, sorry, this is downtown. Lisa wouldn't know what that's like as not an annex resident. You are a proud South Annex resident. Johnny is cut off from the spirit, says Christine. Whippy Dude says, and Yorkville should be included. Yeah, there's a debate there as well. If someone, I wouldn't disagree with you if you said Yorkville was downtown. It's close enough. You're in the gray area, right? When things are gray, we shouldn't be angry and anal about it. You could say Yorkville's downtown. But what you can't say is Ossington Avenue is downtown. Deborah says, are the homes still priced over $1 million on the outskirts? Most of them. You can still find some sub $100 or 100 million. Yes, I've clearly been drinking today. $1 million homes way out here in Scarborough. I even walked by a few on Victoria Park Avenue when I was doing a live stream. We walked by some homes that had for sale signs, remember? It was a lot of fun, and I was trying to guess the value of the home or the selling price, and people were looking it up. But we did find a few that were like 800,000-900,000-ish. So you will find homes under $1 million. Will you find homes well under $1 million? No, it's not possible. Those do not exist. In fact, even when you get way out to the car-dependent suburbs, they're often around $1 million as well. So yeah, just in case you couldn't guess it. I was a homeowner at 25, and I will never be a homeowner again because what I could afford at a much lower salary, I can no longer afford. Ali BHG says AK did that with NY prices too. Jenny K says AK found a couple of $1 million homes on his stream. That makes sense. Christine says a friend bought a 2-bedroom condo in North York, $1.8 million. You know what? 730 square feet is a lot for a condo. 1.8 million is a lot. I would be worried about maintenance fees, right? Going up, a mismanaged condo. But if it's a well-managed condo and the condo board is trustworthy, that might just be the going rate for that kind of condo. 2 and 3 bedroom condos in Toronto are pretty rare. Developers get way more money by building studios and 1 bedrooms because they get more units, but they're not commensurately lower than the 2 bedrooms. That's why Toronto has a problem where most of our new housing stock are 1 bedrooms and tiny studios. Devin says should have bought a home when he was in his 20s. Yep, should have, would have, could have. It's funny. I had coworkers when I started working. Almost everybody was in our little group were making I want to say 40 to 50K a year. This is early 2000s. And people out of university with debt, they had OSAP loans and a 40 to 50K a year salary, were going and getting mortgages on like $250,000 pre-built condos in Toronto. Think about that. Like, that was attainable in the early 2000s, right? You could do that with a new job, bringing debt to the table. A bank would laugh you. They wouldn't even talk to you if you went in there with like a similar salary these days, trying to buy a new condo pre-built. You wouldn't even have a chance. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of amazing to watch what's happened to our housing market. But that was the thing. Imagine in the 90s when like downtown was all parking lots and like there was a lot of hard loft conversions that now are super cool and worth a fortune. But back then demand was really low. Like you could have got a hard loft conversion for like $200,000 in the 90s, and you could have got that on like virtually any full-time salary. Now everything is so out of reach. I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. Christine says it's very hard to get pre-approved for a mortgage. There might be the other side of that coin, though, is we all know that's why the 2008 crash happened in the US, right? Because they were handing out mortgages like candy and the whole economy fell apart. So it's probably a good thing that they're so rigid with their mortgage approvals. What's not a good thing is the actual cost of the housing. Lisa says Montreal is still somewhat reasonable. Thought about what it would be like to live there. Super hard on the trip. Yeah, if you speak fluent French, honestly, if I spoke French fluently and I was in the job market, I would rather be in Montreal than Toronto. Just cost of living. You could consider jobs at much lower salaries than you could in Toronto. Christine says yes, way too many people were pre-approved. It literally crashed the entire world's economy because people were pre-approved for mortgages they weren't qualified for. Right? Lisa says, same dude, same cost of living and the goddamn vibes. Montreal's an awesome city. I love the fact that almost everyone lives in like a walk-up apartment. That is like my ideal city. Every apartment is like 4 or 5 stories. Anyone who needs an elevator or has accessibility issues, we'll give them the first floor, right? We'll say, you live on the first floor. Everyone else, walk-up apartments, 4 or 5 story. That's the ideal form of building in a city. And I would just make a whole city of that. And we can have big towers like right around the subways and stuff where it makes sense. But 90% of the city will be like awesome 4-story walk-ups. That's what I would do. That would be my ideal city. And we can have homes too, but not too many of those. You have to learn French to survive there independent. That's why I said if I spoke fluent French, I would consider Montreal. I don't speak fluent French, unfortunately. Anyways, so like Fluffy has his reply on what planet is Ossington downtown, because it's sure as AF not this one. Pro tip. Okay. Is that really the only reply? Hello, in order to combat spam, we have certain auto rules in place to stop posts from negative karma accounts. The mods will review your post in time to manually approve it. Am I being negative karma? Me? No. CPAN says Ken's going to be streaming at 8:30. Yes, he is. And I actively encourage you to watch Ken stream. I'm aiming. What I want to do, there's a new bridge that opened up in the Portlands. It's really awesome. It's part of you can see it in RM Transit's new video. What I want to do tomorrow, I want to make a walking video in like the early afternoon. Then I want to come back. I want to hop on the e-bike and I want to do like a Tommy Thompson video. It's been a while since I've done Tommy Thompson. It's literally my favorite place to get away. Much more so than like High Park or Riverdale or that sort of thing. At least within biking distance of here, or even Rouge Park. Love Tommy Thompson. So I want to make a video that goes through Tommy Thompson Park. and then I want to finish up around Sugar Beach, and then there I want to do a live stream that like checks out the new bridge. I think that would be cool. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe tomorrow late afternoon there will be an e-bike live stream. That's what I'm aiming for. Whippy Dude says Leg Fluffy accused of being that guy. So that's my plan for tomorrow. I don't think a whole lot is open in the city tomorrow. I don't think it's like the most interesting day or place to record. Anyways, I need to use the little boy's room. I'm sure Action Kid will be fine with this, but we're going to play an Action Kid video of him reviewing a cafe in Toronto while I step aside for a second. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be back in a minute, but we'll play this.
What's up, everyone?
Let me turn the volume up.
Part of Toronto's main Chinatown, and I'm going to try this place, the Hong Kong Bistro Cafe. It's actually located on the second floor of this building, and I can't really read any of the Chinese characters here, but let's go up and try it. Hong Kong Bistro Cafe. This is actually my first time trying Chinese food in Toronto. It's my third day here. Okay. Looks quiet in here. So they actually have a pretty large menu, being a Hong Kong diner. Wow, look at that. Grilled ox tongue, chicken omelet, shrimp toast. Looks like they have a lot of stuff. Entrees, baked salmon, rice and spaghetti. This is very common in Hong Kong. Rice and spaghetti, fried noodles. Noodle soup.
That's really expensive. Here's your beef brisket with spaghetti.
Whoa, very good. Very good. What can I say? This dish is amazing. Spaghetti with beef brisket and radish. And this is 16 bucks. Look at all the food I got. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's try some radish, some beef brisket. It's piping hot. I don't think I could eat this right away. Whoa. Wow. This is amazing. Reminds me of Hong Kong, and I haven't even been there yet. Delicious.
Looks like AK enjoyed his content. David Duke says, glad he took a piss. This is way better content. Yeah. Maybe it is. I don't know. HK forces shared seating, says Susan. Oh, Susan, you would know that area well. Why don't you invite... I just got a very interesting message. Why don't you invite AK out to a Taste of China seafood? That might be interesting. Maybe do that. You had me and Ken and Megan and Bevy out there. What street is this place on? Happy Thanksgiving weekend, says Scott. This is on a street called Dundas in Chinatown, Toronto, I believe. I'm not getting... Ooh, I just got a very juicy image. Canada falls in world rankings and is no longer considered the best country in the world. Someone proposed with a ring pop at a Toronto Blue Jays game and got slapped. I got to see that. Breathtaking residential complex could soon shake up Toronto skyline views. Toronto sushi spot. Oh, I think that was near on Church. Omar says, how long is AK staying in Toronto? You'd have to ask him. I know, but it's something you should really ask him. Niagara Falls is getting a Christmas market for the holidays. That's neat. A lot of positive good news here. 75 essential burgers. 10 projects Toronto never built that would have transformed the city forever. That looks cool. Let's just take a look at these ones here. Susan doesn't have AK on her handles. Canada falls in world rankings and is no longer... When were we ever the best country? All of these lists are bullshit because it's just subjective criteria. Best? I mean, the best country in the world is the country that's best for the individual, which could be a number of places, right? Anyways, someone proposed with a ring pop at a Toronto Blue Jays game and got slapped. So this guy... It was a celebratory atmosphere at the Rogers Center over the weekend as the Toronto Blue Jays hosted a home series versus the Red Sox. But one fan was clearly not having a fun time after a disastrous fake proposal prank by her beau. Oh, it was fake. They're just fishing for exposure. We will stop giving them some. Breathtaking. Liz, 279. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Liz. Thank you very much. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to everyone. Lisa says, holy shit, what a douchebag. It's possible she was in on it too. It's very possible that that whole thing was just faked to find themselves on a site like this. I wouldn't put it past people. Especially something as lame as that. You know, if you're proposing with... Like, no ring would be better than a blow pop, right? Just like the sentiment, I want to marry you. Wouldn't that be better than I want to marry you? Here is something I spent $1.50 on. Breathtaking residential complex could soon shake up Toronto skyline views. Where is this? I haven't looked at this. Toronto's condo boom has produced a lot of bland garbage. Just look at Yonge Street. I agree. But the never-ending pipeline of proposals and construction has also brought or promised some architectural gems. Agree. Oh, this is going to be in the Portlands. I like the towers. I hate the way it meets the street. Not a fan of like the cookie cutter shopping mall style retail meeting the street. But the towers look pretty awesome. And the balconies look pretty awesome. Jenna A says, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Jenna A. Lisa says, second of all, if that was a legit prank, then that would be the end of it. Lol, done. Chris Mills says, fugly. I like it. I like maximizing utility over style. I like that all these balconies are there. And they're kind of done in a way that gives you privacy from your neighbors. I think that's super awesome. But I hate the podium. I hate the way it meets the street level. I think that needs a major rethink, just looking at it. Lisa says it's kind of ugly and won't age well. Can't we just build like storefronts like we have today on like Danforth and lots of Queen Street West, where like the retailer can sort of give it the character? They can put up a sign without having to conform to like the existing space, and they can make it completely stand out. Like it's like a retail storefront, in my opinion, should be like a blank canvas, like a piece of artwork. And the tenant can do that, do whatever they want with that. And the problem is all these new developments, all these new condos do not let them do that. It's always cookie cutter. Your sign must be 4 by 8. It must fit in this block, right? You have a window this big. You can't like brick over it or do anything. You have this like there's just no personality in these new buildings. They just look like this. It drives me nuts. Independent Mind says it's subjective. Some will like it, some won't. Yeah. I just wish we retained what gives character to our older neighborhoods and we brought some of that to newer neighborhoods. That's just a A peeve of mine with new developments. People in Toronto are debating what's the city's ugliest building. Hey, I think that's pretty cool. We kept something old around and we built housing on top of it. I like it. I don't hate it. That's on University Avenue. Lisa says that's not... I don't think that's ugly at all. I think it's kind of best case scenario, right? We preserve something that otherwise would have got the wrecking ball and put housing on top of it. I like it. Jenny K says that's kind of cute. Ali BHG likes the small part. It's too big on top though. Lisa actually does like this one. It stands out far worse than the city. I give this like an A+ for preservation. This is not just the city's ugliest building. This is the ugliest building on planet Earth, probably in the known universe. This is just so offensive, right? This is on Dundas and Bloor. You can actually see Dundas West Station is right here. This is an office building that like some kind of mushroom fungus has an apartment building growing out of the top. I've pointed this out on buildings before, and I've actually made some lists of like the ugliest buildings in the city for video ideas. And this one is by far and large number one. Among them is the hulking office building at 233 Dundas Street West, which looks like a brutalist sandwich with retail at the bottom, offices as the middle, and residences on top. How does that even happen? Lisa says there's one like that at Vaughan and St. Clair. Is there? Vaughan and St. Clair West, just south of it by Bathurst. Vaughan and St. Clair. We're at Vaughan and St. Clair. Now you said west, just south of it by Bathurst. So here? Down in here? Is this where we're looking? Is this what you're talking about, Lisa? This one? The apartment building on top of the retail? I don't hate it. No, just north of that triangle. Okay. Whoa. Give me back my screen real estate. So this is it. I don't hate it. I like anything that looks like affordable housing, truthfully. So in that sense, I don't really hate the other one too. Sheena says the building looks very 1970s. If this were like half, this is missing the office, right? The other one has the retail, and then there's the office, then there's the residential. This is just residential with the office. Devin says, I like a deal. I do like a deal. I want everyone to have affordable housing. This thing is hideous, but I wouldn't put it in any top 10 lists. It's ugly, but it's not that ugly. The Toronto Police Headquarters looks like it belongs in the Mississauga City Center. Like, can we just pick this building up and put it back where it belongs? Because it certainly doesn't belong on College Street. That's a pretty awful looking building. Hey, this one made that list, Lisa. There is a consensus that the building jutting out of its 2-story podium at 21 Vaughan Road is really, really bad. Jenny K says that's just... I don't see it. It's just a normal apartment building on top of a podium. It looks pretty ugly, but I don't think it's that bad. What is this? People are calling the entrance of 21 Widmer Street the doorway to a theme park ride. That, or like a cheesy suburban Mexican family restaurant. that's not Mexican at all, but is trying to be, to the point that it's probably offending people who are. I don't know. It just, yeah, that looks like awful, if you ask me. Lisa says it looks like a bad Christmas sweater. Back in the 60s, it was considered a marvel, says Independent Mind. Okay. These are kind of cool. They scream 1960s to me. And there's some buildings like this in the annex. And these like things here, these little wings or fins, give you privacy from your neighbors on your balcony, right? So they serve a functional purpose. Your neighbor, like my balcony here, I love it. It's huge. But my neighbor can literally just like look over and see the whole thing. And I can look back and see theirs, which is, I kind of wish, I would rather take a little bit more shade and have like a fin. I like it. What I absolutely hate is the towers in the park setting. This is stupid. Like just the big red. This is not a public park, right? This space, you're not going to find children playing here. You're not going to find a dad and his son playing catch with a baseball on this piece of grass, right? You'll find people taking their dogs there to take a crap because it's convenient. If you're going to have this, make it a proper park or utilize it better. Like these towers are so horribly, horribly developed. Even St. Jamestown is like guilty of this, and that's right in downtown. It's called Towers in the Park. It's a very, very negative design trait, but the buildings themselves, I think, are pretty cool. I like them. A lot of people weren't feeling the curvy, articulated balconies of the Jane Exbury Towers built in 1969. I'm digging them. I like them. There's some really, really awesome ones like this. I think on Prince Arthur, right? In the annex? Prince Arthur, Toronto. I think this street might have our best example of towers like that. Yes. I love it. I love the proportions. I love, it's got that same fin, gives you that privacy from your neighbor on their balcony, blocks some wind as well. This is, to me, an A+ apartment building for something that, it's not on a major street, so I'm not offended by the lack of retail. Not even offended by the parking. Parking's got to go somewhere, right? We've got an entranceway. Parking's around the side. There's an underground garage. That's an A+ building for me. I like it. I think it's awesome. And yeah, there's some more like that right over by Spadina Station, right? If we go to right up here, there's some more in that same kind of vein. Somewhere around here. I don't know, am I wandering too far? There we go. There's a really cool one as well. Same era, different design, but nice balconies. You've got like these dividers for privacy. Lisa says there's one on Walmer with the fountain that needs a facelift and would be sick. That one. That's what I was thinking. Call me crazy, but 60s era office towers were awful. 60s era's apartment buildings, pretty awesome. I like them. And I like that Toronto has so many great examples of them. I also like that they're among our more affordable houses. Here's one too. Look at that. That's awesome. That is another A+ in my book. You know, the architect had a little fun with it. I wish it was a little bit more of a curvy vibe than like you've got this nice curve and then you just hit this, but what do I know? I'm not like an architecture critic or anything, but I like it too. Has this guy started streaming yet? Has he started streaming yet? Hey, look who has gone live. That is my cue to exit the building. Vivian Johnson says good evening once again. Gertej says good evening. Subscriber only mode. I am subscribed to Ken. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end this. I've got a shitload of work still to do. So I'm going to get to it. I'm building up like a library of videos for my vacation. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you to our mods for modding. I'm going to try to go live next Sunday, but it won't be like this. It won't be anything at all like this. There would be another dude sitting in this chair in my apartment at that time who is not me. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to give him my YouTube password, nor would they have the know-how to log in and stream. Vivian Johnson says, thanks, Johnny, and good. See you in the AM. Yes, I will premiere a video at 9 a.m. Anyways, see you back on this channel at this time and place in a few weeks. Maybe sooner. I don't know. Thanks to our mods. Like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Go watch Ken. He's live now. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow on the Strides channel. All right, guys. Have a good night. Yoink.